What are you going to do with the kids today? The Parent's Handbook offers a scoop on local happenings in the Colorado High Country. The Parent's Handbook can be found at www.theparentshandbook.com, where you'll find information on activities and attractions, events and concerts, dining and meals, and deals and coupons. The Parent's Handbook, proud supporter of the nonprofit network.
Welcome to another edition of the Nonprofit Network, a weekly highlight of what's going on in the world of Valley nonprofits. Today, our guest is Arn Menconi. He's the Executive Director and founder of SOS Outreach. Welcome, Arn.
Thank you for having me, JK.
It's great to have you here. You know, you've been at the helm since the beginning. What was the impetus for forming SOS Outreach?
Well, I started SOS nearly 20 years ago. I was a snowboard instructor in Vail, Colorado, and Beaver Creek. And at that time, many people may not remember, but snowboarders were considered a bunch of punks and hoodlums. And I was in my early 30s and what was considered very old for a snowboarder and snowboard instructor, and just very passionate about the sport and wanted to try to do something to better the image of the sport. So we started doing some things along with Vail Resorts that was half-pipe competitions. We brought kids from Denver up and experienced the sport when they wouldn't otherwise. And then in the mid-90s started a nonprofit called the Snowboard Outreach Society, along with our partnership with Vail and other groups, in which we brought kids who would not have had the opportunity to come up to the mountains and experience the things that we all love and are very passionate about.
Talk a little bit about what the kids do get out of the experience and where it can take them.
Well, you can look at it as stages. So there is 10 million skiers and snowboarders in the United States, and over 2 million are youth. And about 45,000 are black and 90,000 are Hispanic. So we're reaching out to a group of individual youth that wouldn't have the experience. So the first thing they do is they get lift lessons and instructors, and equipment to go out and experience a 5-day program. That's our academy program. Okay. Then they're learning how to ski. We've taught them something that's very important in leadership development is our core values: courage, discipline, integrity, wisdom, compassion, and humility. Then they come back for a 4-year program, the university program, in which they take that learning of a sport, that passion, and we engage them in the first steps of leadership development. And that first step is taking the core values and using it in community service. Does this make sense?
It absolutely
So
does.
they do the on-hill or the camping or climbing, and then we are taking them into an out-of-activity time period. And we're facilitating this through mentoring so that they're understanding not only how they're transforming themselves, but how they're affecting positively their community. Then, after that, they go into a 6th, 7th, and 8th year program, which is our master's program and our postdoctorate program, which is all this long-term value-based leadership development.
And you've really grown over the years. You've expanded your programs to new areas, I understand. Can you tell us a little bit
we've
about
been
that?
as many as over 50 ski resorts in our 20-year experience. And we, 4 years ago, merged with a summer nonprofit. So we have summer and winter programming. It's no longer called the Snowboard Outreach Society, SOS Outreach. It's the international cry for help, so I look at it as it's called Help Help. And we are trying to reach out and showcase the fact that these sports can do adventure training and change kids' lives and change our society. So we're at a bunch of ski resorts. We have 5,000 kids, 20,000 days of activity.
Wow,
we have kids as young as 3rd grade and as old as high school. We've had students go through 9 years of SOS, graduate, go on to college, come back and become mentors.
Any success stories that you're particularly proud of?
Quite a few of them. I think the big success story is just the fact that students keep coming back at longer and longer years, that they're not looking at it that I'm here for the sport, but I'm here for giving back. They're here for learning how to be the peer mentor, how to teach the kids who are coming in the program. And we have hundreds of kids who are coming back next year for that program.
That's great.
We have an office in Seattle, Tahoe, Denver, Summit County, programs that are very significant, and almost an office in Portland and Steamboat. And so it's a very simple thing. These sports that we love to do can be turned into reaching out and having a major effect on changing kids' lives. But the thing that I would say is the biggest success story is we're one of the few nonprofits in the United States out of 40,000 that hold on to kids long term, that are really committed to this social justice and social advocacy piece. And that may seem idealistic. It is. It's complicated, it's hard, it's expensive, but it's the work that we're really up to. I started an organization 20 years ago to turn people on to snowboarding. Now we're turning each other on to making change in our societies for a positive lifestyle, for a positive world ahead of us.
So to have an effect on these kids, you obviously need volunteers.
Yeah.
In what ways can people get involved, and then what's their motivation for doing so?
Well, I hope their motivation is to get more out of it than they give, because that is what everyone, I think I could speak for everyone that works at SOS or any charity. We do the work out of a selfishness that we have a better life by giving back. What the mentors, what we're looking for, are people who are understanding what it means to be a leader and that they're facilitating it. I always say anyone could teach a sport. It takes a rare individual who is understanding this social contract of making a difference in someone's life by taking the core values, the service learning, the training that we do in the peer mentoring, and in facilitating goals about what the student can use later on in life.
So now your biggest event of the year, the Colorado Eagle River Ride, is coming up in July. Is it July 27th, I believe? It's really a great ride. I've done it in the past, and can you just tell us a little bit about where that came from? Why the ride? I know you have you love to ride, so.
It came out of they put these things in our community called roundabouts, and they were scaring people because they didn't know how to drive. It was like out of Vacation. I can't remember the movie where they're stuck in the roundabout. So I created something called Tour de Roundabouts. It was a joke with 28 guys, and it grew into a bike ride. And it was to see how we could ride in a peloton, ride fast, ride hard, and then Pedal Power, Bruce at Pedal Power said, why don't you do a 100-mile ride? The real reason is we're trying to raise funds, and this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We raise anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 from this. We've had up to 1,000 riders, and again, we're tying into sports, and we're trying to show how sports can engage other people. So we're always looking for funding. Most of our funding is coming from grant writing. We raise about $1 million in cash and about $2.5 million in in-kind. And out of that $1 million out of that grant money, we're being perceived as one of the most sophisticated nonprofits that are holding on to kids long term and showing what are outcomes. So there's some key pieces that I'd like to share with people who are thinking about, well, what should I be thinking about when I give to a nonprofit? Not just my time, but maybe if I'm giving my money. And if you're giving your money, you should be, if you care about youth programs that are in the United States, we should understand that kids are faced with some real different things. When I was a kid, 20% of our society was minority. Now it's 50%. Our educational systems weren't as broken as they are now, and people weren't walking into schools with guns and killing kids, all right? So what we're trying to do is empower people in a value-based leadership piece. And the way we need to do that is hold on to our kids long-term in out-of-school time programming. That means more days during the year and more years in managing this mentoring piece. And that's what I think SOS does very well. I think we have more days to more kids. I think we have less dollars to more days of programming. And I think we have evaluated the type of outcomes and impacts that we have almost more than most nonprofits, not just in Colorado, but in the United States.
It truly is a great organization. Do you have any other events coming up anytime soon?
Well, you want me to talk about events. I want to talk about kids, because it's not about the playtime for the adults. It's about what are we doing in the field of youth development in order to look at how we can make improvement? And that's our events. So if you go to our website at sosoutreach.org, what you can find throughout the whole year, that right now we're training our guides for the summer. Starting in a week, we'll have camping trips for kids. We'll have about 12 of those where kids will come on and do a 5-day wilderness trip. We'll have one-day programs that kids are doing all over the state of Colorado and in Tahoe area. And then we'll have these, kids are kind of stoked on learning how to ski or snowboard, but the summer sports, they're not digging as much as they used to. So we have to start off with something small like hiking to build up to a camping program. And those are the type of events that we do almost every day year-round at SOS.
One more time, where can people go if they're interested in getting more information?
To sosoutreach.org.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining us, Arn. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me talk so much about something that I happen to be a little passionate about.
No problem. We enjoyed having you.
I hope I didn't take us off too much, but
absolutely not.
I appreciate the time.
Great, thank you. If you or your nonprofit is interested in appearing on the Nonprofit Network, you can email us at vailchan5@comcast.net or visit us at www.publicaccess5.org. Thanks for joining us.
Were you okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
You sure?
I like that. I like when you. I like when people go.